I apologize. We apologize to everybody that were coming on a little late, but we wanted to greet y'all. We wanted to say hello.
Yes, come in, say hey, y'all.
Yes, come in,
welcome.
Yes, and we're just gonna have some great, frank conversations. Some
Q&A tonight.
Q&A. Just talk about some things, and we'll just see how the Lord leads us, how they said in church. We'll see how the Lord leads us.
If you all have any questions that you've been thinking about, you wanted to answer, tonight is a little bit different because we have another meeting that we have to meet to get on tonight. And so we have something that we really want to share with you all, but we're going to have to wait until next week to share it because we need more time to do that. We want to talk to the singles.
That's right.
Because oftentimes when people hear about couples pursuit and we say it's a marriage mentorship ministry, they think immediately, oh, well, it's just for couples. When we first started, babe, I had some friends to respond, I'm not married, or, so thanks for the invite, but, I don't think it's for me. And I wanted to encourage them, we don't invite you just for the numbers.
That's true.
We invite you because we feel like the information is beneficial. So if you're someone who wants to be married, and also practically the information that we give about marriage, it works in all types of relationships. It works in your relationship with your mother, your father, your children, your work, in your work environment, in the church environment. And the reason why I say that is because it's so that you can learn how to operate in peace and communication wherever you are.
True.
So if you do get married, it's really going to be exceptionally beneficial for you, because you'll soon find out that the person that you love so much, you're going to have some differences, and you don't get to go home at the end of the day like you do with your coworkers and, people at church or, in public situations. And you don't have the upper hand like you might have with your children, and your say so is the say so.
Yeah.
And with your parents, it's a little bit different when you become adult children. So anyway, just wanted to encourage you that if you know someone who you think might benefit from couples pursuit, or you tell them about couples pursuit, they don't have to be married in order to partake of these life lessons, because that's really what it is.
Yeah. And, I could understand, I can see where you're coming from, because when I was single, it's been so long ago.
How long ago?
Oh, my God, 23 years.
Okay.
Well, no, longer than that, 26. Because I wasn't married. Okay, am I counting? I wasn't married. We wasn't married, but I was trying to pursue you. I was.
Yeah.
But anywho, I can understand that I was not like actually seeking marriage advice. Like, I see the marriage counseling and such, as I see the retreats going on. I see I don't know if Facebook Live was a thing then.
Nor did you think you needed it, right?
Yeah, I didn't think I needed it. So I can understand from that point of view. You could say, well, I'm not in a relationship. I'm not married, even though I desire to be. Mm-hmm. But maybe this is not for me. As my wife said before, I think if you're desiring to be married and you want to know what a healthy relationship looks like, you want to know what a successful relationship looks like, I think coming to these trainings that we have, joining our groups, our group, and just getting around other people that are trying to pursue this thing, what we call a successful marriage. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, we don't really, it's not successful until it's really all over with. We're in the pursuit of it. We're in the pursuit, and we're trying to work on these things so we can give you some good pointers and tips and strategies. And like next week, I believe we're going to talk to the singles, and we got some great information. I actually released a survey, baby, the survey I told you about, and a lot of singles responded to that. I'm gonna try to leave that link here in these comments, but it was just so eye-opening how honest they were about some of the things that we're dealing with and some even struggling with, and we want to address those issues because, like my wife said, this group is for the single, separated, married, divorced, and the widowed. We are here for those that are desiring to be married, desiring to be in a healthy relationship. We want to be your voice. We want to help you be your guide, help you navigate to that place. So if you have a question, hey Tabitha, how you doing?
Hey Tab.
If you have a question, just leave it in the comments, and we're going to in the training that we have for the singles, it was so packed that there's a lot of things that we couldn't get to actually in the training. So maybe we can talk about some of those things. Yes,
but here's the thing. I want to another reason why I want to address that couples pursuit is for singles also. It's because marriage doesn't make itself.
Yes.
You know, people sometimes have the misconception that well, once we get married, everything will be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Once we get married, things will change. Well, if I get married, he'll stop cheating. Yeah. Well, if I get married, I won't cheat anymore. Wow. I won't have a desire to do so. Once I get married, I won't want to go out and hang out with my friends as much. Once I get married, I'm still going to be exactly who I want to be. And she going to be exactly who she wants to be. We just going to live in the same house and nothing is really going to change. Well, there are all kinds of misconceptions. And so we want to say that, number one, premarital counseling is an absolute I think it's a must. I would not recommend that anyone get married without first talking to someone who is of sound mind and who has wisdom. And we also, you know, Couples Pursuit is founded on biblical perspective, biblical principles.
Yes.
So we teach everything from a biblical,
biblical
perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So we recommend that you do talk to someone who will share those same principles with you, because things like, you know, do you want to have children? How many children? Where do you want to live?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what kind of credit do you have? What kind, you know, all these things that you don't think about when you're happy and in love and, you know, just want to be around each other all the time. But then you become responsible to and for one another. And so many, many things will come into play, and you don't need to discuss those things after you say I do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we have a warm up. This is our warm up. I urge you to come back next week, share with your friends. You know, I make a formal announcement and all the great stuff. Have something for you to share. But come back next week, especially if you're single and you're desiring to be married, or if you know someone that is single and they've been like, you know, trying to do this relationship thing and then it seems like it's hit and miss, not really having any good structure or guidelines. Man, we're gonna bless. I believe we're gonna bless you, give you something that you can grow off of. So, babe, one of the questions that we have that didn't quite make it in the training, for next week is what to look for in a date.
The actual date or the person?
The person. Because I like to, while you ponder upon that, I like to make sure that when we're dating, if you're a Christian or single and you're a believer, and like I said, we teach from biblical perspectives and biblical principles, we want to make sure that you're dating for a purpose. Like we're not, it's not just a fling, you know, the way as the world would say it. You're dating for a purpose. And with that purpose, you want to know what the purpose is. So we're dating for information. So what to look for in a date? My first thought would be, okay, well, this question is twofold. Or do you look for what kind of person to date, or what do you look for? What do you hoping to expect out of the date? You know, so go ahead.
That's a twofold question. So, what to look for in a date? First of all, I want to say that you don't have to say yes because somebody asked you out on a date. Listen, I mean, that seems like it's elementary, but, you know, sometimes people get the idea, and I know I've been married for 23 years, and so I haven't had to go on a date or wait for a date or wait to be asked out. But there's this idea, you know, and really like a fear that, there's a scarcity of men. So, you know, girl, you don't want to pass up your opportunity. Well, every opportunity is not a good opportunity.
That's true.
So first you want to see, is this someone that I even want to spend my time with?
Yes.
How does this person approach you? You know, do they care about their hygiene?
Mm-hmm.
You know, how did they speak to you when they met you? Did they look at you or did they look at you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, did they look through you? Do they seem interested in getting to know you? Or do they just want to hang out? And if you just want to hang out, then I guess that's okay. But you have to realize what's going to come along with that. If that person is not serious about really wanting to get to know someone. Now, I don't mean serious in the fact where you just met them, they're going to tell you if they want to get married, how many kids they want. No, but there's a difference when a gentleman says, hey, girl, let me holler at you.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, hi, my name is such and such. How are you? You know, you look nice today. Or, you know, it's nice to meet you. I saw you, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes we can tell off the bat. So if you get a gentle, a kind, respectful vibe from the person, and you feel like I might want to get to know you, then yes. But if you seeing the red flags from the beginning,
just about to say, don't
bypass your intellect and the unction, you know, your knowing to just, well, girl, I'm gonna go get me a free meal. Well, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be free.
Yeah, it ain't free. And that's
if it's a waste of your time, it's not free.
That was a thought when you were speaking. I was thinking about, like, how many red flags did you see, or are you avoiding?
Right.
What to look for in a date is to look for the red flags. Like, as closer that we get to wanting to know the person, like, how many red flags did you see? Oh, okay, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. That's a red, like, and you kept pursuing, you kept going forward. You're like, I just want to get to the date and see, you know, if it's just my imagination. No, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Be in tune with yourself, you know, and really don't avoid what you know is not good.
That's true.
You know what I mean? If he's on the phone or she's on the phone talking about, well, you can keep the kids, I'll be back. You know, I told you, why you bothering me? You know, they're your grandkids, or you know, if this is a person that they sound like they're just avoiding their responsibility, like they have left things undone, or, you know, you just don't want to jump into a situation with someone that doesn't seem like they're going to be responsive, kind, considerate. And that may, you know, that these are things that may happen during, like, the meeting. You meet someone and you notice things about them, and then you don't make a judgment or an assumption. Maybe you have a conversation before this person asks you out on a date, you know, and you see how do I feel about it? You don't have to say yes just because, you know. And as far as the physical date, like going out, the red flag can come at the point where you accept the date. You know, everything can be fine until then. And then you find out he wants to meet you or she wants to meet you, you know, at a certain place. You know, let's hang out. Oh, well, I thought we would just stay in and watch a movie. Okay. Well, what are your boundaries? What are your barriers for spending time with a person of opposite sex?
Kept, like, no showing. Like, we done tried this 3 times. And so first it was your mother, you know, something was going on with you, then you had to go do something, you forgot, you overslept, or you know, it's like we didn't make the date because you had it was so many other issues. You're like, I don't know if he's really serious about me. You didn't cancel, you came late. It's not really a priority for you. So yeah. So
and not just that, you know, it just, once you get ready to go on the date, what I was saying was more in the lines of, you get the impression that we talk about dating for marriage. When we talk about Christian or biblical principles, we're talking about dating for marriage, not dating for entertainment. You know, for the purpose of getting courtship, the purposes of getting to know someone, to find out whether they're a potential mate or not. And so if that person is somebody who just wants to, you know, hang in, you just met them, you don't want to go hang out for hours and hours with them on a couch by yourself watching movies. What, you know, like they say, what, Netflix and chill, that's what they call it. And what they really mean is, I just want to be in your personal space until we can figure out if I can get into your personal space.
That was Netflix chill.
That's the connotation that I get. Y'all tell me, give me a thumbs up or down if I'm wrong.
Okay.
No, babe, I think you missed it. Netflix and chilling, this mean, you know, come over, let's kick it. And we have to be And that's from our era. We have to be really cautious about boundaries, is what I was saying. You don't want to rush into things. In today's society, I find that there's not a lot of dating. Our daughters have attested to this, that gentlemen don't really date you. They don't pursue you. They don't want to take you out, take you on a date. It's not about the money. Take me out, take me to the park. Let's go for a walk. Pack a picnic basket. Stop by the store, order a meal. Let's take the food with us. If you don't pack a picnic basket, who are you? Where you come from? What are you,
A lot of times the couples that we speak with on the other side of dating, they got married and probably been together for periods of times and had children and so on and so forth. One of the things that we all see in common, if they're struggling in this point in their marriage, is that they've stopped dating. Like they have not pursued. Last time you've been on a date? Well, I don't ever know where she want to go, and whenever I try to choose something,
so busy.
So
the kids, such and such and such.
Get used to date. Let's and also date with a purpose. Like my wife said.
Yeah, what is a date though? A date is where you make an appointment to get together with a person, usually of the opposite sex. In business, sometimes they'll say, I have a date on my book to do such and such, but we're talking about a man and a woman going out to spend time together. And it can include, going for a run, going to the gym, taking a walk, going to the movies, going to a show, a sporting event, sitting down and just having dinner. Sometimes it's coffee. There are different things that you can do on that date, but the purpose is to get to know one another.
That's good. That's good. We got Pastor Rivers guest, and he's a pastor. He has him and his wife. They actually have a ministry too.
Oh, wonderful.
I check you out. I check you out, sir. Thank you. He said yes, good teaching. I appreciate that, Pastor. And also we have another. This is a comment or question.
Oh, Nimsay. I remember her from 5-Day Prayer Challenge.
Okay, so not letting the pressure get to you. Is that a question, Nimsay, or a statement or a comment?
I see there's a question mark, but not letting the pressure get to you to date. No. Okay.
No, it's not a question. Attentive. I like that. I like this Q&A. Yeah, I like this.
So let's talk about pressure. If you feel pressure, just don't.
Yeah.
While we're waiting for it. Okay, here we go.
Statement. Sorry.
Oh, it's just a statement. Yeah. Don't feel pressured to date. Don't feel like you have to go out with someone just because they asked you, or it's just not necessary.
Yeah, and that's
not necessary.
We have in the training next week. Say, I hope you stick with us next week. In the training, we talk about the managing external pressures. We talk about your family. Some people feel pressure to get married, feel pressure to have children even. And we talk about some ways that you can, help offset that pressure that is on you.
Manage it.
I'm so glad that you made that statement. So thank you so much for tuning in. I don't know if we have time to get to this next question, baby.
No, we probably don't. But, if anybody has any comment or question about what we've discussed so far, then go ahead and drop it there. I just want to encourage you. We talk about in one of our earlier videos, when we really first started Couples Pursuit, we talked about courtship and courtship being different from dating. There's nothing wrong with dating, but in the kingdom, we want to date for the purpose of marriage. And so one of the reasons why I want to share that for some people who may not have necessarily heard nor agree or understand what we're talking about when we say courtship or dating for courtship or dating for marriage. When you skip past all of the getting to know one another, and society is a big, supporter, advocate, TV, media, radio, social media for people getting together. I started noticing in my early 20s, or probably even before then, maybe my late teens, I would go to a movie and I would begin to see that people would meet each other and they would end up in bed.
Real quick.
Really quick. They would meet each other. They'd have a drink. They end up in bed.
Yeah.
And it was almost like the the it thing to not know each other's name, like it was funny or cute afterwards. So what's your name? There's nothing cute about that.
There's nothing cute about letting somebody all up in your personal space.
I mean,
and you don't know what they're bringing with them. You don't know who they are. You don't know. So, and how the media pushes that.
Yeah, how they support it. And it's like this subtlety. But the point I want to make sure that I leave you all with is this, is that courtship, for the purpose of marrying, it sets up a boundary, a protection for your heart, a boundary of protection for your body, a boundary of protection for your spirit. And also it sets up a boundary, a barrier for you not to fall into being intimate with someone before you've had a chance to really get to know them. And then what you can do is you can find out all the things about this person before.
Excuse me.
You good?
Yeah.
You can find out all the things about this person so that you can know, is this somebody that I want to get to know? Because does it really make sense to give someone your body before you give them your time, before they give you before you find out who they are, before you know all these things, and then you get wrapped up physically, emotionally, sexually with someone, and you have all of these emotions that are connected with it. Sex is just not, it's not just a thing. Now, people can compartmentalize it as a thing, especially for women. It's not just a thing. So you can avoid a bunch of pitfalls in having broken relationships, because the woman will get the reputation of being loose and all of the negative names that women are called for doing exactly the same thing that men do, and having short, relationships over and over again. And
you have to stay with us next week. We talk about the purpose of marriage. You have to, you are made for a purpose. You are here for a purpose. You have one. It's not an if, it's not a maybe. It's what if I don't find it? Your job is to seek that. And what has God so loves you and wants you to find your purpose, that he can give you a helpmeet. He can give you someone that can help you along to reach that purpose. I love how in the book Tony Evans called Kingdom Marriage, he says, when you pursue God's purpose as a couple, then everything else you value in life, such as happiness, love, and satisfaction, will fall into place. So when you seek someone to date, that's why we say we date with the purpose of marriage, with the ideal of that, I do want to be married. I'm not saying that every date I go on, like I'm tagging you as the person, but my job is I want to know that you're not. I want to see if you desire to be married, then we can go a little further and try to get to know each other. But if that's not the person's, I don't want none of that. Okay, nice to meet you.
And maybe you met a friend.
Yeah.
And you can move on. But if you leave all of the, the physical out of it, then you have an opportunity to discover that. And then you don't have the heartbreak, and you don't have the fallout and all of the other things. And then you don't have to repent either. There's a thing.
Yeah. Okay. We can't. I said question Q&A, question and answer.
One question, a couple of answers. I hope y'all heard something that you can use tonight. Again, we just wanted to come on and say hello. We're here. We're thinking about you, praying for you always, and just wanted to take a moment to answer a few questions. And we got one.
We got one. Which is good. Stay tuned with us. Stay with us next week. We're going to talk about.
We're going to go a little deeper.
We're going a little deeper. Yeah. And we're going to help our singles, our tribe, our people. And we thank y'all so much for rocking with us. And baby, look, I hate to go right now, but we have to go. We'll see y'all next week. Hopefully, you take us out.
Well, Lord, I thank you for those who have come on tonight to connect with us. Lord, I thank you that they've heard something that they needed to hear. Lord, I thank you that you teach them to value themselves and to know that it's more important to get to know a person, to get to know the person and find out if there's someone that they want to be in a relationship with before they become physically intimate with someone, that they don't embrace the ways of the world, but they look to you for their answers. They look to you for their direction. They look to you for their strength and their health and their might. I thank you, God, that you would bless them, that you keep them, make your face to shine upon them, be gracious to them, Lord. Lift up your countenance towards them, give them peace, and keep them all from hurt, harm, danger, sickness, disease, and virus. And Lord, would you bless those that are waiting, looking for, expecting a spouse. Help them to wait patiently and to seek your voice and your leading as to when to say yes and when to say no. We thank you for it in Jesus' name. Until next time, we'll see you here again on Couples Pursuit Live.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this episode of Couples Pursuit Live. If you enjoyed this video, here's another one we think you'll like.